Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge as we take on Season 14 and round number 4 here live from Francorchamps. We have had a great opening 3 rounds so far with an opening American doubleheader at Daytona and Watkins Glen. Last time out at Suzuka was an interesting exercise in multi-class traffic management that was done very well, I've got to say, by everybody. But now, a time for maybe a more familiar circuit here with myself, Ewan Leary, James Parfitt alongside me as well. This is very different to Suzuka, what we saw 2 weeks ago. Everybody's going to have a much better idea of how to get round here as they did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things they're going to be looking out for, isn't it? The difference in track. Everybody's been to Spa, right? We all know Spa. I know Spa, and I don't even drive that often. But it's going to be one of them things that I think these guys are going to get very interesting with a multi-class series. That's going to be the thing for me. You know, when we're looking at nearly 23 GT3s and we've only got 16 LMP2s and GTPs, it's yeah, going to be very, very interesting indeed.
It certainly will. Qualifying is just about come to a close right now, although Ryan Wasilewski's just moved up. Actually, I thought that was everyone over the line, and now it is. But Ryan Wasilewski just moved himself up to 4th place in the very end of that session. So a nice late lap from him, and he has moved up to 4th. And the second best of the Acuras in the field. It's actually been a very close qualifying session. Just 6,000ths between Paul Darling and Pat Pelchat at the end of that session. They were trading lap times throughout, and they are, or were, by far and away the fastest two at one stage. But Nathan Dowd has pretty recently jumped up into 3rd place as well. He's only 3 temps down at quite a long circuit. So it's a very, very close grid indeed, and this is how they line up with the rest of them as well. As I said, Ryan Wasilewski has moved up to 4th behind those 3, with Billy Smith II in that last spot inside the top 5. Adolfo Perez is 6th place in this one ahead of Dominic Durnenberg, the last of the GTPs. Then 9 LMP2s to come with Robert Cast on the front. It's Carter Cunningham in 2nd place, and Robert Tinsley, the final driver in the top 10 overall. Caden Richardson and Brandon Walker are sharing row 6. Mo Islam and Andrew Parker are next, ahead of Leif Peterson and Fozzie Fozillo. Then, at the front of GT3, it is Ross Booth in the Porsche, ahead of Michael Ross and Dominic Zioli. Then Alex Simonek is an all Mustang, row 2. Nicholas Davis and Young Park are next in the Porsches. Then it's the first of the AMs. Joshua Wolf is ahead of Ed Eisenring, 23rd and 24th. Then it is Mark Kajalski and Parker Dime. Ryan Robertson's a bit behind his pro compatriots. He is 27th, then of Adam Satterfield. It's Miguel de Souza and Austin Diltz next up. Followed by Carson Quint. Christopher Pais is quite a long way behind the rest of the pros as well, with Morgan Smith and Dylan Rosenbaum next up. Dale Green and Chris Sherburn share the 6th row of the AM grid with Paul Lindsay and Shane Hunter, an all-Canadian row 7. It is Sean Reeson, Colby Kersey to round out the field. That's 16 GTD AMs for those of you counting at home, to go with the 8 GTDs, the 9 LMP2s, and the 7 GTPs. That makes, by my maths, 40 drivers here in the field. Let's have a look at how they are standing in the championship, because we've still got 3 minutes to go until the start of this formation lap. This is the closest. GTP, where Pat Pelchat leads by 5 points. His incident fairly late on at Suzuka meant he lost 3 points to Adolfo Perez, who lost points to him the previous 2 weeks. Billy Smith is in 3rd place, ahead of Nathan Dowd, although they're tied on points. Tor Darling is rounding out the top 5 there. Just a couple of points back to Dominic Durnenberg, Brian Moslewski. Maximilian Muir's not here today. He's 8th, ahead of Bouts Bow and Paul Gibson, who haven't only been at 1 round so far. Trevor Vavrovsky has not been at any rounds so far. In LMP2, we've got 19 points for Robert Cast, who has had a wonderful start to the season in this class with 3 wins in a row. Carter Cunningham's been runner-up to him twice. He's 2nd. Still, though, 11 points ahead of Robert Tinsey. Brandon Walker's only 1 point further back, and then Caden Richardson next. Leif Peterson's just outside the top 5, with Andrew Parker just behind him. Kevin Bigley and Mo Islam are next, with Brian Corwin, who didn't score any points from that opening round of the season. Then it is Ross Boove in the GTD lead by 11 points. Of course, that's down to a triple win as well. Runner-up on 2 occasions, it has been Nicholas Davis. He was also on the podium in the other occasion. Christopher Pies is 3rd, although he's qualified last for this race. Bradley Haley and Young Park round out the top 5, with Michael Ross and Ryan Robertson next, followed by Paul Spudlerk. Then it's Patrick Fogel, Alex Simonik, and Dominic Zioli, rounding out the 11 GTDs. And then in GTD AM, the biggest field actually that we have all the way through, Joshua Wolf is leading there by 10 points, now becoming the first driver to win 2 races this season in this class. Miko de Souza next, ahead of Parker Dime, then Ed Eisenring, who was running up the front at Suzuka 2 weeks ago for a while, then Morgan Smith. Austin Dilts is just outside of that top 5, with Tom Hammer next. Colby Kersey's only a point ahead of Dale Green. He's only a point ahead of Mark Kudrowski to round out the top 10. And then you can see the rest of them on your screen there in GTD AM. In the Teams Championship, Composite Performance Carbon are leading the way by 6.4 points over Sector 5 Racing. They've got half a point over Composite Performance Titanium, then Composite Performance Platinum, a further 3.3 back, and then there's a bigger gap back to Satellite Racing of 15.7. So they're actually a very long way off the overall teams already, nearly 26 points off already in the field. So it's already shaping up nicely in the team's standings. So, James, we've only got 1 category now where we haven't seen a repeat winner. That's for overall honours in GTP, where Pat Pelchat, Maximilian Muir, and 2 weeks ago, Paul Darling have taken race victories. I wonder whether we'll finally get a repeat winner today.
Well, it's going to be very, very interesting, isn't it? I stand corrected with Paul Darling, who literally told me that ninjas are Japanese and not Chinese in the chat. I can't
remember what you were talking about for that to be a discussion point.
I think, to be honest, I think we were saying that somebody was sneaking up through the field like a Chinese ninja. But apparently it was Japanese, so there we go. Unfortunately,
it was fitting. It was Suzuka. So.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was, but apparently not. I got it wrong. So there we go. But I think the thing is, when we don't see different winners, it really does kind of keep championships alive and keeps them going and keeps them guessing. Look at the gap of Cast. He's 19 points ahead. Ross Booth is 11 points ahead. And I think at the end of the day, I'm quite happy seeing different winners. I think this is going to be interesting here.
Yeah, I'm always happy to see a new winner. Don't know. I'm going to place my bets on a repeat winner today, though. Darling and Pelchat, I think, are the 2 fastest in the GTP field, and they showed that in qualifying, I think. And we may well see one of them winning again. If either of them do, don't forget, we will be having our first repeat winner of the season. Darling, don't forget, missed the opening round at Daytona. So it's Adolfo Perez who's closest to Pelchat in the overall championship. He's qualified 6th, although I think he's got more in the tank. He always races better than he seems to qualify. Has been in the top 5 on every occasion so far this season. Well, we are almost ready to go here at Spa as Pat Pelchat and Paul Darling come towards the green flag. The other prototypes not too far behind them as we now do get the green flag. A little bit earlier maybe than you'd expect. Paul Darling hits the gas and he goes in towards turn 1 on the racing line quite helpfully. Ahead of Pelchat, who just chops his nose off. Ahead of Nathan Dowd. Then it's Ryan Wasilewski, Billy Smith, for Perez and Dominic Dunneberg. It's stable in GTP, not in LMP2. We've got a car off the road at La Source.
Yeah, Richardson's got off there as well. This is the GT3s. Fight just about to get their start underway as well, with Ross Booth out in front, Michael Ross, Dominic Zioli. They're in the Mustangs, Alex Simonik again fighting them out behind, but you see that recovering LMP2 there. That was Caden Richardson.
Oh, no.
A big old crash at the back of the field as well, and lots of cars going all over the place. Unfortunately, at this moment in time with Pat Pelchat there once again. Just bear with me while I try and resolve these issues here, and Pelchat is literally still out in front with Darling and Dowd in the background.
Joshua Wolf also has dropped a long way down in GTD. He's the championship leader there, of course. Austin Dilton, Sheldon Rosenbaum also involved. It looks like all the GTD cars got underway well, but not in GTD. Let's have another look at how this all started. Wolf is in the McLaren in the middle there. He just comes across on one of the Ford Mustangs, and then he stuck up on the inside. I don't think he quite looked in his mirror enough on the way in towards La Source there on first viewing. I think he had that Mustang alongside him for quite some time. He came across on him and was eventually spun around. Meanwhile, Pat Pelchat has taken the lead from Paul Darling, and he's put nearly a second into him through that middle sector.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment as well as Pelchat. 1 second over Darling currently with Nathan Dowd, Wasilewski in there, Billy Smith and Adolfo Perez. Then we've got Dominic Dorenberg, who is in the back end of the GTPs. Carter Cunningham leading the LMP2s over Robert Tinsey, Brandon Walker. Robert Cast had a little bit of an awful start and has dropped down 3 positions.
Yes, I think that might have been because Cast was involved with Caden Richardson, and maybe that's a bit of a long shot actually, but I'm not sure he wasn't involved there. Cast has gotten through on Brandon Walker there. They are teammates after all, or they look like they are anyway, and so those two exchange places as we make our way up the Kebble Straight and in towards the Lecom complex all over again. Pat Pelchat still leading the way. Darling will gain, of course, in the slipstream, but he will not go through just for the moment. He's staying with him. So is Nathan Dowd. Further behind, Ryan Wasilewski has just lost a second or so to that front 3. He's got Billy Smith, Adolfo Perez and Dominic Durnenberg right behind.
Yeah, he has at the moment. Bear with. I'm not entirely sure why we've all of a sudden got these absolute mad blinks going on over on this racetrack here. Either on that one. So bear with me while I try and resolve this one.
Yeah, we will do. Normally it flattens out.
Yeah, it should be fine. I don't know why all of a sudden it's decided it doesn't want to.
Sometimes it doesn't like the race start, but then it gets then it normalises after that. But struggling a little bit more. Here we go. Oh no, spoke too soon.
Yeah, a bit weird.
It is very weird, but there we go. We'll persevere just for the moment. Not much changing here on this middle sector through the second lap of the day. Carter Cunningham, by the way, is really extending out an advantage here in LMP2, 2.5 seconds. We've also seen, away from our cameras, Michael Ross into pit lane as well. He must have been involved in the lap 1 shenanigans that Wolf, Dilton, Sheldon Rosenbaum all got involved in.
Yeah, I think so on that one. I've got a funny feeling this is literally just kicking me out here. This is very, very bizarre from this situation. It's deciding it's not going to settle down whatsoever. So I'll carry on fighting the fires, Mr. O'Leary, and I'll just leave you to talk for a minute.
Okay, well, I think I could see side by side between Perez and Smith, and Adolfo Perez did get through there actually into 5th, but only briefly. Billy Smith is going to try and come back and retake that 5th place away. It's only the second positional change we've seen in the field actually in GTP. It's been a pretty clean start and a very single file start. Dominic Durnenberg is coming up on them as well. very close between the three of them on the way into Lecom, round the outside for Perez. Oh, there's contact. Oh dear. Perez and Smith make a bit of contact. Smith goes for a half pin. He rejoins and recovers, but he's down to 7th. Further in LMP2, that looked like Cast getting past Robert Tinsey there into 2nd place. And so his recovery is going okay, but he is still a couple of seconds behind Carter Cunningham. I've just lost my timing screen, so it's even more difficult for me.
Yeah, I know. It seems to be. I don't really know what the situation is. If you can give us 2 seconds here, guys, we're just going to jump on. Oh, is it settled down now as well? I'm a bit confused at why all of a sudden it's decided to want to do this. Give us 2 minutes. We will try and resolve this issue as soon as possible.
Welcome back to Spa, where we believe we've got issues sorted. Apologies for that. Pat Pelchat is still leading the way by a couple of seconds ahead of Paul Darling, with Nathan Dowd in 3rd place as things stand. Adolfo Perez did indeed get past Billy Smith, as we saw. There was a slight bit of contact. Dominic Turnerberg was also able to get through as a result. Other changes in the field. Caden Richardson, of course, with that one incident we saw earlier on in LMP2, has gone down to last in that class. Walker, Islam, Parker, Peterson and Fazillo have all gained 1 place as a result. Carter Cunningham is back past Robert Cast, of course, because he dropped back on the start as well. And it's largely the same in GTD, apart from what I mentioned earlier on. Michael Ross out of the race by the looks of things in the Mustang after having to come into pit lane after lap 1. He's decided to call it a day, as has Colby Kersey now, and Sheldon Rosenbaum as well. So unfortunately already 3 retirements in GTD. But Ross Booth is not running away with it by any means. He has won 3 races so far this season, but he's only got a second over Alex Simonic and Dominic Zioli. It's myself, Ewan and James Parfitt with you for this round of the championship, and it's settling in here. I've got to say, GTD AM is a bit closer than GTD, and it's about to be ripped apart probably by the not for the lead, but for the others. I'm just being contradicted by facts there, as you can see. But the GTP are about to split this group apart for good here.
Yeah, they're starting to, I think, as well, make their way up through, coming in to the back end now. Pat Pelchat is only a couple of corners away from the GTD AMS, so we're going to be looking out and seeing how he manages this traffic here as well. He's got through Campos to Stabilo, and then he will hit them going down the back end of Blanchimont. It's whether or not they can get through Blanchimont before he gets there, because I can tell you one thing, he is flying at an absolute rate of knots here. So for Pat Pelchat, he is going to be upon them very quickly.
Oh, Ed Eisenring is dropping down the field. He was battling for second with Kudrowski, and he is dropping down the field. What has happened to Ed Eisenring here? It's a battle going on, and I thought it was just a pass for position, but it's clearly more than that. Here goes Kudrowski down the inside of Eisenring, and he gets caught up on the inside, has a half spin, and a whole load of drivers go through on him. Look at how close it is, though, and this is what Pelchat's got to deal with. This is the back end of it here. This is the nice end of it. Further up the field, it's so close together. And he's going to catch them as well in the middle sector, which is not really where you want to do it. So this could be a very, very crucial lap now for Pat Pelchat.
Yeah, he's got to absolutely bury this, and he's got to make sure he can get through cleanly. You can see their cars on the right-hand side. Let's jump on board to the wheels a little bit easier. Not taking one on the run into LeCour. Hey. Be careful, there's a car off there. That's Carson Quint off the side of the circuit as well. Now heading down into the right-hander of Rivage. Round we go. Again, keeps it nice and clean past that one as well. Weaving his way through here is Pat, and off he goes through No Name, and then moves himself on a little bit further on. So Pat Pelchat doing a great job on the traffic, but he's still got more to go.
He has got a long way to go here. He's going to go around the outside through Pouon. That's the way to do it. Duck up the left-hand side here. Maybe dive down the inside again as well on the Porsche. Yeah, why not? A little bit late, but he's okay. Gets cut up on the curb. He'll stay in second gear for the camper chicane this time round then. Move to the outside for Stavolo. The prototypes don't mind that. The GTDs don't want to be out there. And now dived up the inside of the curve pour frere, and that is the way to do it with Pat Pelchat. Paul Darling has gained a little bit though, 1.1 seconds. He's got a much better run through the middle sector, and he'll get these three on a section much more suited to the prototype and much more suited to getting through traffic as well. This is now the closest leading battle on the circuit. 9/10 of a second as Paul Darling closes in on Pelchat. And I've got to say, I remember something pretty similar happening at Suzuka, to be honest. The first run through traffic changed the front of the overall race.
Yeah, it did, and I think that's the thing here. They've got to, work their way through cleanly. Darling, the problem is he's now got to stay with Pelchat. That's going to be the issue, and he's just got caught up a little bit from that Mustang. Sean Rees has been off the side of the circuit.
Parker has.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Parker has as well. Brandon Walker, excuse me. Getting him confused with Andrew Parker. Brandon Walker, excuse me, who's dropping down the field.
Yeah, this is Reese in that Lamborghini. What did he do? Oh, he's going to hit the wall.
Ouch. That's going to hurt.
Unfortunately, it's for him as well. Wojciechowski and Perez are fighting their way through the traffic. They're trying to go through together, going into LeCour at this moment in time. And are they going to make it up the inside? Wojciechowski is. Perez is not. He's tried it now. He's now got the job done for Perez, and through he goes in that Porsche. But Wojciechowski, Perez, and Durenberg not too far apart here as well.
Nope, they're not. Oh, here goes Durenberg onto the back of him here. Perez can't quite go anywhere though. I mentioned it before the race. Perez always races better than he qualifies. It always looks a bit concerning at the start of the evening when he's qualified, and you think, oh, is today the day where maybe he doesn't quite have the speed? But no, he does. It's just in the race where he's got it, which I suppose is the right way around to do it. Christopher Pies, meanwhile, is off in the GTD field. He was already qualified quite a long way back, of course. And no, he's actually last, but now he's even further last. Billy Smith also has had an incident here. There's been a lot of incidents in these last couple of moments. It looks like it is indeed together. And you can see at the start of the clips, Pies is nowhere near Smith. However, the catching speed is sublime. Oh, goodness me! Smith gets wide and through Pouon, up over the curb. He gets loose, smashes into Pies, whose car is destroyed.
That is massive. I have not seen nothing like that for a long, long time.
Oh, no. I mean, the GTEs are always going to wash out wide there because the lack of downforce they've got compared to the prototypes. No, this is Christopher Pies' normal line that he is entitled to take. They're on the ragged edge here, and Smith had to be expecting that. Nothing that Pies could have done there.
No, I don't even think he would have known he was coming. I don't even think he knew he was on his way over. That was madness. Absolutely insane from Chris Pies and Billy Smith on that one. That was just incredible fighting. Carla Cunningham leading the LMP2s, cast by 3 seconds, mind you. And he started coming through the traffic of the GT3s as well. So it didn't take long. It took all of about 15 minutes.
I'm not sure we ever worked out why Cass lost 3 positions at the start of the race, really, but remains a mystery. 4 seconds is now the gap, and I think the big question moving forward here is whether he can catch and pass Cunningham before the end of the race, and whether we do have a race on here, or whether this is how it's going to be. The race, by the way, if you're thinking it looks a little bit gloomy, started at 8 a.m. This morning at virtual standard time. It is, of course, the 4th of November. In sim, as it is in real life in America. So there is the current time. It's now 22 minutes past 8 because of when the server starts, and the fact that we started the race at about 7 minutes past 8 virtual standard time. But effectively, sun is still rising here, and that's kept the temperatures down to a very nice 19 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I think the cooler they can keep it, the better off they'll be. But as it comes up and you know, a little bit more, it might get a little bit warmer. But I don't think for an hour it's going to be really that long. Caden Richardson and Fozzie Vasillo. Fozzie joined the series this evening. I think he's been here before, if I'm not mistaken, this season, Fozzie Vasillo. I don't believe he is at all. So he did get joined on tonight. So this is his first race.
And he's not in my, I say my, I use it, but it's made by someone else, obviously, someone far more clever than me. The big sheet of everyone who's ever been in this series as a driver as well. He's not on the list, so that implies to me that this is his debut in the series, not only this season, but in all time as well, as Richardson moves through on the inside line. Vasillo letting that happen, really. So he drops back. It looks like Brandon Walker's out the race now, unfortunately. So I'm adamant there was an incident for Brandon Walker out of the curb pull threat, and whatever it is, he's now retired.
Yeah, he has, and unfortunately, due to us having to restart everything, it's unfortunately can't go back that far. So they're going to, politely take the word for it that has happened here as well, because Brandon Walker started leaking positions round about here on lap 7, and this is where he kind of lost. Well, he just seemed to almost disconnect as everybody just kind of went past him on that one. Alex Simonek has apparently he's overtaken him now. So for Brandon Walker, I think he just lost a lot of places all of a sudden.
Leif Peterson's off the road. Meanwhile, at Malmedy, that has happened in the last few moments as he's working his way through traffic. The Lamborghini just in behind. Is going to make contact with him there, I think. It wasn't a very tight line. It would have been Morgan Smith, I think.
Don't think he got touched there.
Yep, he did.
Oh, slightest little snizzle there as well, contact from him. But that's put quite a few out, and there are 3 more that are Sean Rees, Brandon Walker, Michael Ross that are lap down on within the GTD class. So a couple of people that are out. Mo Islam and Andrew Parker in the LMP2s are having a start of a nice little battle.
Oh, Dominic Zioli's off now in GTD. We're coming up on him here. He's going to be on the right-hand side, I think, of our camera here. No, he's miles off. He is absolutely miles off because he's dropped down the field. He's gone back to pit lane. He's had a very big incident here. I thought we were going to see him because he's directly ahead of us there as we were watching that battle. One of the LMP2s going round the outside. Oh, no! Oh, he's made contact with the wall on the way towards Blodgemont. Those two in very similar liveries as well. I hope they're not teammates.
Well, Dominic Zerli is obviously listed under privateer at this moment in time. But yeah, that was a big piece of contact for them, unfortunately, on that one. But I do believe there may have been a gap there, and the wonderful world of the internet may have played a part.
Maybe. At that speed and not much contact has to send someone, really. So could be it could be a legitimate incident, but we'll wait and find out as we join Ryan Robertson now. He's fifth. He's quite a long way behind the rest of the GTD field. He's actually down in. He's behind the top three in GTD AM as things stand as well. Meanwhile, Michael Ross has got back out onto the circuit again after a 1 minute long stop. So his incident has not held him back too much because he's back on the circuit again. But unfortunately, a lot of GTDs having to come in already. I'll make it 6 now with issues so far. To add into 2 prototypes of Billy Smith and Brandon Walker, we've had a much more incident-filled race at Spa, would you believe it, than we did have at Suzuka.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's a racer's circuit, Spa, and it does kind of induce that racer's edge or whatever you want to call it within yourself, within your body, and it just kind of sparks up, and then next you know we get what we got now. So unfortunately it's a bit of an issue. Don't forget fuel limitation: 67% GTD, GTD AM, 90% LMP2 and 90% GTP. So that is the 80% GTP I should say. So that is the fuel restrictions for this race.
And this season, indeed, that for the Autobahn Sportscar
Challenge
will be... I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, that's fine. I'll take your word for it. I don't know why, considering your memory is like a goldfish.
You're not entirely...
Well, I'm not entirely wrong, you mean, Mr. O'Leary?
Not entirely away from the truth. It is, as I'm just reading the rules again now, it is indeed for the entirety of the season as far as I can work out. This is in the final chicane, and Austin Dilt's making his way past one of the McLarens. That's Chris Sherburn in a pass for 9th place. What I was about to say, by the way, is that this is a 14-round season. We'll be live for every single round of the championship. We'll have a little bit more time off for the holidays, of course. We'll be last live before Christmas on the 16th of December with Mugello, and on the 6th of January we'll be back with Road America. So that will be a sort of essentially we race every 2 weeks, but one of those every 2 weeks will be missed, if you see what I mean. So that'll be 3 weeks in the middle of races right over the holiday season. But we will be live with every single one of these rounds right until the start of April, when our season ends here in the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge at season 14. As it is 14 hours of racing effectively as well, and we're only just getting started really. This round 4 of the championship here from Spa, and it's shaping up so far to be very unpredictable season in certain categories. I mean, in LMP2 and GTD we've had repeat winners or the same winner I should say, each 3 occasions. One of those winners, Ross Boob, is leading again in GTD right now. However, GTP and GTD AM especially very, very unpredictable so far, and especially in GTD AM, that is continuing again here, because Joshua Wolf was down in almost last after getting spun at turn 1 during this race.
Yeah, he's now battled his way back into 26th. I do love everybody in YouTube chat. They've turned it into a Spanish YouTube chat, and I don't understand a single word of what is being said in there. So all I can see is Perez. So that's it. I'm guessing we're cheering on Adolfo Perez there. Everybody.
They're admiring Adolfo Perez. And he's racing through the field at the moment. Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, that's fine then. You guys carry on. As long as you're having fun and not saying anything bad or horrendous, that's fine. All right. I don't expect me and Mr. O'Leary to understand what you're typing, but you guys carry on as long as you're enjoying yourself.
And even if they do, we won't know.
Yeah, they could say, well, if we see our names up there, then we know we're in trouble, right? But currently at the moment, I haven't seen my name once. I've seen lots of Perez, so that will do. You carry on.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just don't put our names there. If we put our names in there, I'll have to use Google Translate.
If it's a Spanish word that's even loosely related to the English one, then we might have a chance. But if it's not, then we're absolutely toast. I don't think either of them speak a word of Spanish really, other than hello.
Yeah, we got Hamish. I can speak a little bit as well. I can order a coffee. So there we go. Hamish is a YouTube chat, bless him as well. I can fill it with the King's English if you like, James. Please do, mate. Go for it. So get what's going on. As these they're not GT3s, are they? GTDs are having a bit of a battle here. Ryan Robertson and also Mark Kudrowski are scrapping it out. And then we've got Ed Eisenring and Morgan Smith. And then behind that, Paul Lindsay and Austin Dilts with Shane Hunter and Dale Green. So a couple of battles are having a fun there as well. Ryan Wasilewski is in the pit lane. No apparent reason, just the fact that he drove in.
Yes. 25 seconds. The time ticks up. I think this is 27 seconds. It's maybe on the long side, but it probably is okay. I guess Spa's quite a high fuel consumption circuit, actually, so that's probably what he's got to worry about. Of course, pitting now is probably a good idea for Wasilewski because he was coming up to the back of having to lap the GT3 categories, GTD and GTD Am, again. Didn't want to do that, pit in, and then have to do it for all over again. So he's pitted now. He has put himself behind the LMP2 leader, but that shouldn't take much negotiation. Now he's got the clear track ahead of him. He's got a few more laps now to try and do a bit of an undercut maybe on Adolfo Perez, Dominic Turnerberg, who are now 4th and 5th ahead of him.
Is he going to get to the end here?
Yeah.
It's only been 26 minutes.
I know, but we've only got 60, so, you know.
Maybe. On that one. Joanna said, just having fun, don't worry. So there you go. I'm not now. You're on. No, you've told me.
We're not worrying. You're all welcome, whatever language you're intending to.
Yeah, as long as you're not, French swearing at me, that would be a different story. Japanese as well.
Or Spanish.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, I know a sentence in Spanish that involves that, but that's about it on that one. Kudrowski's in pit lane as well. Shane Hunter, Dale Green still by now. We're doing well this evening, Mr. O'Leary, aren't we? We're having a right little chuckle up here in the booth.
They're all pitting in now, by the way. Kudrowski from 3rd in GTD Am. Dowd and Perez from 3rd and 4th in GTP. How long are these pit stops going to be? As Dowd and Perez probably doing the similar thing to Wasilewski here. Up on the jacks for Dowd to get some new tyres there. Perez, you'd imagine, will be rejoining just after him. But if Dowd's tyre changes take too long here, then Perez will get out ahead. Now then, who will win the race off here? Ryan Wasilewski comes out the pit lane. Dowd's already going. Perez going at pretty much the same time. Their pit stop time's the same as Ryan Wasilewski, who has to go the long way around turn 1, and so he won't quite get ahead of them.
Yeah, no, he did survive there. Perez in 5th, Wasilewski 6th with Nathan Dowd in 4th. So they basically stay as they are from when they went in. So that's always good to see from these guys. We've got Ed Eisenring and Morgan Smith fighting it out down in GTD with Shane Hunter and Dale Green not far back in the Mustang and the Porsche. Do you know the best thing about GTDs? They're not all one car make. We've got Fords, Porsches, McLarens, Lambos. We've got no Corvettes though. And the only Ferrari we did have was Sheldon Rossenden, and he didn't take to the start. Is it Rossenbaum? And he didn't take to the start. But yeah, we got every other one. Oh, and a Mercedes.
Yeah, we do have that. We do have that. We unfortunately don't have any Corvettes either in this race or indeed entered in the series. So if someone wants to enter the series and use Corvette, then you're welcome to. But because it's free at the moment. But yeah, other than that, we do have some good variety here. At the front of the field in GTD Am, for example, it's Mustang, then Porsche, then Lamborghini. First, McLaren is 6th. And we do, as you say, also have a Ferrari, although Sheldon Rosenbaum, I think he did take the start. Our timing screens aligned to us because we reset them. And I think he got into an incident on lap 1 that forced him to retire. But he may also have not started. He certainly didn't get very far in this race.
Yeah, I don't believe he got very far. As I say, it's not even registering that he's done any parts of a laps. So, I don't know. But then again, as I say, we did have to reset the timing of software due to the issues that we were having at the beginning there as well, for whatever reason it may be. But these guys continue to fight it out. Ross Booth now, I know it's 8 tenths at the moment, but over the last few laps Simonik has been closing in. He got 3 tenths on him last time around for Alex Simonik in that Mustang over that Porsche. We know the Mustang's got no more grunt than the Porsche as well, so this is kind of an ideal Mustang circuit when it comes to sheer outright speed. Porsche is a lot more nimble in the corners and a lot more planted, but the Mustang's just got that little bit more grrr going down Blanchimont and down the Camel.
Does have a little bit more power, and especially when you put it up against the Porsche, I think Simonik could have a real chance at overtaking when indeed the chance arises. But so often Ross Booth has been able to strategise his way to getting out of the slipstream of those behind him and get himself clear of the field. So if that happens again, then it doesn't matter how much straight line speed the Mustang's got. He's not going to be able to use it to make an overtake if he's not close enough in the first place. Just less than half an hour to go then as we complete the first half of this Autobahn Sportscar Challenge Round 4 race here today. This is season 14 as we take on our first European round of the season at one of the most well-used circuits in this series. We've been here on every single season of the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge, much like we have been at Daytona, much like we are going to have at Road America as well when we go there in January to get our season back underway after Christmas. Those 3 circuits have been used every time, and it remains so. Spa's an iconic sports car racing circuit, so we've been here every time. 14th time this time round.
It's a long time, isn't it? Let's be real. 14 times at one circuit. I think the thing is with Spa, it's like having Pringles. When you eat too many Pringles, you start feeling a little bit unwell. When you keep driving Spa, you start kind of ended up disliking the race circuit. I think that's the thing. Whenever I generally look at calendars and I see Spa, I think, what are we going to get? What's it? It's very maverick. It's up and down what sort of racing you're going to get. And multi-class does suits Spa. Not the best way of going around past that Mustang, mate. I'm not going to lie. He did give you the whole of the inside there. But I think, Spa is a very maverick circuit. Some love it, some not.
Yeah, absolutely. It is tricky on occasion as we make our way into the S's here through campus between Booth and Simonik. Behind them, not too much prototype traffic just for the moment as we have a look at Fozzy Fazillo making his first appearance in the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge here tonight. Just locking the rears a little bit and sliding his way through the final corner. Unfortunately, that is a shame for him. By the way, do you want to guess what number driver he will be in the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge, if indeed I'm correct and this is his first appearance? Do you want to have a guess?
Out of all seasons or just this season?
No, all the seasons. All the seasons. How many drivers have ever competed in this series? Can you guess?
It's going to be lots, isn't it? 553.
He'll be the 323rd. So you were right to go with a big number, but not quite that big.
Oh,
we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there.
It's still a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot, yeah. Maybe I'll spring a quiz on you each week and see.
Oh,
see what,
God, that means I'm going to have to do homework. Don't do that. It's bad enough for the amount of spreadsheets we probably have between us, Mr. O'Leary. Don't start chucking quizzes at me as well. Don't start doing that. However, I'll throw a question at you about Interlagos and see if you can answer it.
Yeah, I'd get that wrong, probably, in history. I should mention, this series started in October 2014, so, it's been going over 10 years now, officially. Now, so it's to be expected. Meanwhile, Nathan Dowd has got out ahead of Paul Darling as the pit stops are really starting to take shape. Paul Darling was 29 seconds in the box. That was 2.5 seconds slower than Nathan Dowd, and it's lost him provisional second place.
Yeah, Nathan Dow's done a great job since his pit stop. He come in on lap 13, 27.1 for him, 29.6 pit stop time for Darling. So we'll see what Darling's got. The problem is that I think I can't see past Paul. They've got pace on him. He's got pace on him. You know what I mean? And I think he's just a little bit tough to try and beat Paul Darling. And he's just quick all round. You know, he won last time out at Suzuka, finished 6th the time before that. Watkins wasn't here for Daytona.
Oh.
However, as I say that, he goes off the circuit, so I'm not going to pick him up anymore. But clearly, I don't know. He should get Nathan Dowd, but that's nothing disrespectful against Nathan Dowd.
I don't know. I think they'll be quite close together, actually, for the remainder here. But let's see. As Pat Pelchat...
Here we go. This will be the deal breaker. Whether or not Dowd's going to clear him before Blanchimont, is Darling going to get him before the bus stop? Yes, but that's literally, he had to get him before the bus stop, otherwise he was going to be slow through there.
Shortest pit stop of the lot so far for Pat Pelchat, and he's out the pit lane already. He is going to lead this race. Well, not now, he's not, because Dominic Turnerberg has gone on for one more. But at the moment, later on anyway, he is going to lead this race. Robert Cast has been in LMP2, by the way, alongside Robert Tinsley, Morislav, Fozzy Fazillo. Leif Peterson came in the lap before. It's very much the time for LMP2 pit stops. Here comes Carter Kundinger. This is the big moment in LMP2 as well.
Yeah, this is where we find out how far Robert Cast has got. To be honest, he's all the way back in, and it's coming through Stavel and Campos. I don't think, to be honest, Carter's probably already stopped. He has. He's up on the jacks. He's got some tyres. Parker's coming in behind him. Caden Richardson will be the first one if Richardson goes in, but I think Cast is too far back here. He's got about another 9 seconds in the box, and I don't think Cast should get there. Saying that, Cunningham is up on a jack still, mind you, and Cass is now coming through the bus stop. So this is going to be, I'm trying to think whether or not in relation to each other, this is going to be mightily close, because there is Cass.
No, we'll get him. Cunningham will get ahead.
Yeah, he will get ahead, but I think that's probably a little bit closer than Cunningham was hoping for, I would have thought.
Let's see. Custer's going to get a good run, obviously, onto the Kemmel Straight. He'll always close in as a result here, because he's been on the racetrack, and Cunningham's just getting up to speed. But it is slightly closer, I think, than what it was before the pit stops, but it's not much. I think that's still quite a gap to cross here. I mean, even though Custer's won the first 3 races, I think we're easily forgetting just how quick Carter Kundinger is also, especially in an LMP2. He's a very strong driver indeed. He's actually making his 100th appearance tonight in the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge, so congratulations to him on reaching that feat. He's been on the podium in over a third of those appearances, and it's an impressive record, and I would not be surprised to see him crown his 100th appearance with a victory here in 23 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. That'd be a great little record for him as well. You know, you can ask me that one next week and I'll remember who it is. But yeah, I think anybody that's done 100 appearances has done a good job, man. Let's be real.
Absolutely. Of course, it's hard for me to work out how many he's not been here for. It's probably easier to do, but either way, there's been plenty of seasons, 14 of course, and plenty of races as well. I think more than on average more than 10 races a season, so it's a lot of races to compete in, but Cunningham has raced in most of them. GTD pit stops are upon us. Booth and Simonik are close as well on the way out of the pit lane here by the looks of things. Booth was a little bit quicker though in the box, and does that mean he has already broken the slipstream sort of advantage over Alex Simonik here? Nicholas Davis will have closed in on Simonik as well, but he's a couple of seconds further back to start with. Young Park also on his way out, but look at that. Booth is ahead by more than a slipstream's advantage. Ryan Robertson leads for the moment, but he hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah, that would be the second pit stop, the second difference between pit stops. There we go, let's say that slowly. Between Ross Booth and Alex Simonek. Young Park is out. He's got Chris Sherborne in front of him. Of course, Chris not pitted, as you said there, Ewan. But everybody, a lot of other people are coming in as well. Miguel de Sosa, Castor Quint, Dale Green and Shane Hunter also in the pit box. But this is now the closest battle with this Nathan Dowd and Paul Darling battle.
Yeah, it is. It is a close battle in GTP that will continue. Pat Poshat still leads by a long way. Meanwhile, in GTD AM, Parker Diamond, I think, has got ahead of Adam Satterfield here in the field. He's 2 seconds ahead. He's the leading driver to have made his stop so far. Joshua Wolf is repeating his tricks of having a very short pit stop again. He's still only 8th, though, and I don't think he's going to gain from Ed Eisenring or Chris Sherburn, who are both still yet to stop as well.
Yeah, Sherburn's out there sitting in 21st overall, 2nd in class. He's just gone past young Parker, we saw just run wide through Poor, and there was also Sean Rees going up the side of the circuit behind us as well. Poor old Sean's had a bit of a rotten race here. We won't, compound his misery for much longer. Austin Diltz and Morgan Smith both pitted and are now back within touching distance of each other. 3/10, in fact, on that one. Dowd and Darlin not getting any closer. Dominic Dildenberg and Adolfo Perez are still half a second apart.
They certainly are. And still lots to resolve in these final 20 minutes at Spa. So Ryan Robertson comes in from the lead of GTD, and so Brothbooth will now be leading there. We're just waiting for the top 2 to come in GTD-AM, and will be sorted. Ed Eisenring and Chris Sherburn. Now, will Eisenring get out ahead of Parker Dime here, or will he be trailing? I don't think this is going to be quite quick enough for Ed Eisenring to be leading the race. I think Parker Dime is going to be our new leader here as we make our way into the chicane. That's one of the LMP2s getting down the inside and through here. But here comes Dime, and there is Robertson right towards the end of pit lane. Sherburn and Eisenring are still stopped, and so through goes Parker Dime. He leads the way just ahead of Satterfield by 2 seconds, and there coming out the pit lane is Robertson. He's in a different class.
Yeah, that's in the AM, so great job done by them guys, and yeah, there you go, Parker Dime leading now as well, so yeah, great job.
Joshua Wolf not quite ahead of Sherburn, where he might have thought he would have done. He's 3 seconds behind just for the moment, but that will normalise, and that will get very close actually on the way up the Kemmel Straight and in towards Les Combes. There could be a chance maybe for for Joshua Wolf to get back through here. The reason I bring that up, of course, is because he's the championship leader and needs to stay close if he possibly can to Parker Dime, who's only 15 points behind him at the start of the day. There is Wolf currently down in 7th place, just 12 points picked up for that. Dime at the moment picking up 25. That's a 13-point gain. It will bring Wolf's championship advantage down to just 2 points.
Yeah, you can see Shane Hunter and Miguel de Sosa there. Hunter has just cleared de Sosa going in to Le Carmen on the run out of Marmody down into Ravage, so they're going to have to now be careful, because that is the other battle I was just about to go and have a look at. Nathan Dowd and Paul Darling. This championship could be wide open by the end of this one, and I think it's going to be really good going into the next round.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this leading gap, by the way, overall, and why that's come down in the last lap, because 2:05.4 was the last lap from Pat Pelchat, which has halved his advantage. He seems to be going okay again now, but that was a very slow lap last time round.
It was due to this.
So, through Puon again. This is behind one of the GTDs, and he tried to go around the outside of it, but the McLaren was hoping that, or expecting him rather, to make a rather rash dive down the inside, and so Pelchat has to throw it off the road to avoid him.
Yeah, and I think that was Carsten Quinn who went off the side of the circuit, unfortunately. But that is Eisenring, isn't it, there as well? Be careful, be careful, yeah, be careful, careful. Yeah, Wolf and Sherborne, both in the McLaren there as well.
Look at him, look at the run for Joshua Wolf here. That is going to pull him straight past his fellow McLaren and up into 6th place. And with every pass he makes, he just extends his championship advantage again. That's by another 2 points to Parker Dime. So that's up to 5 now, as long as things stay as they are. Of course, the pole position point has already gone to Joshua Wolf, so that's to be factored in as well. And there's a fast lap point here to come too. That at the moment is being held by Austin Diltz. in the GTD Am field. So Wolf's current advantage is going to be 6. If things stay as they are, he's currently running in 6th place. This is a decent recovery, though, after being spun around at turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what kind of he had to do for Joshua Wolf. He had to kind of make... Oh, was that somebody off the side of the circuit that we just bypassed there? Sean Reese. Is that Sean Reese again? In that Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is not looking gorgeous here this evening. Oh,
that's just a lose of control on your own there.
Yeah.
For Sean Reese, as he was overtaken by
that's Wolf.
a lap. Oh dear, that was contact with one of the prototypes. Now that could be a big story. It's a misjudgment, complete misjudgment there from Dominic Durnenberg, by the looks of things.
Yep.
Was that?
It was Durnenberg. Yep, you are right. And unfortunately for Wolf now, he's all the way down in 9th in class at the moment.
Oh.
As well, so that's only going to give him 9 points. Why Parker Dime, if he stays there, will gain 25. So he'll have, what's that, 16 points on him now.
But obviously Wolf has the pole position point, so they'd be tied on points if things stay as they are right now. Will Joshua Wolf and Parker Dime. So Wolf would very much like to just take one of those positions back. Maybe from Ed Eisenring, who's only a couple of seconds up the road, and then he'd have his championship lead back. But this has not been a good day for the McLaren. Of course, there are 2 drop weeks to factor in by the time we get to the end of the season. But for now, we're so early in the season, we're working on total points. And for those two to be tied after 4 hours and 4 rounds would be very impressive.
Oh, he's going to go inside. He got the run finally for Shane Hunter. Got the run over Dale Green going through Blanchimont. And Hunter makes the move and goes through there as well. So great job from Shane Hunter and there. Both of them doing a great job. Ryan Wasilewski and Adolfo Perez is up the road. Wasilewski 5 seconds back, but he's got Dorenberg for company right at this moment in time as these guys battle it out in the GTP. This is for 5th and 6th place.
So Durnenberg, after making contact with Wolf, lost as a result, lost a place to Wasilewski. He was the other similar-looking car right in behind him there. So those two have exchanged as a result of that. Dominic Durnenberg, by the way, is in the leading team as things stand. Ryan Wasilewski is in the 4th-placed team, even though they are both part of the Composite Performance umbrella. They are on different teams, it's worth reminding you, but Durnenberg just scoring those points for the team that's got him in the lead. Robert Cast doing some of the heavy lifting there in that class. I think it's in that team, I should say. I think it's fair to say. He's still looking, though, at this 5th position.
Yeah, he is at the moment, but I tell you what, he needs to be a little bit more careful on how they're doing traffic there. The outside line through Pawn just... Hey! Well, there's a hold up if I've ever seen one. For Dorenberg, he's got stuck in behind that Porsche and now has lost about a second and a bit here. Adam Satterfield is with 2nd place. Mark Kondrowski in 3rd, but that is Parker Dime and Satterfield battling it out for the lead of the GTD AMs.
Yeah, this would very much help Wolf. Adam Satterfield has made a great recovery here. Well, not recovery really, but a march through the field. Of course, some of those positions have come through, these overall positions I'm looking at the moment, have come through those going off a little bit further down. In fact, 5 are not in his class, but he has made, if you take those out, still made up a couple of places on the day so far. And with 12 minutes to go to have a shot at the race win, but maybe... Then this is a very good chance indeed for Satterfield to maybe win a race. These two both searching for their first victories of the season. Diamond's finished runner-up twice now, most recently 2 weeks ago, but he could have it again here. Oh, Satterfield goes to the inside. Well, he wasn't expecting that. Parker Diamond, he went through the middle of the road here at the Camel Straight. Satterfield down the inside. He's holding the place and he's got it. In the GTD AMs, Satterfield takes it from Parker Dime with just less than 12 minutes to go. Absolutely hasn't. This is the battle for 20th place or overall, for what that's worth. Of course, these guys scoring points in a class-based system either way. So this is the win that they're both fighting for. The 25 points. Oh my goodness, that's a dive from one of the LMP2s. Satterfield goes really wide as a result. Here comes Dime on the cutback. He looks back to the inside again. He'll be on the outside then for Stavolo. Maybe the inside again here into Kerpel Frere. Has he got the run? Oh no, he decides to stay behind. There are a couple of chances there where he could have been more aggressive and go for it, but now he's got the chance. Satterfield gets loose, and here goes Parker Dime back into the lead again. He responds on the very same lap. He lost the lead for the first time. Whoa! Oh my goodness, that was so close. But Parker Dime has gotten through with an outside move through Blanchimont. That was very, very impressive indeed.
Very big, very brave for that one. Very big and very brave there for Parker Dime. Did a great job with Adam Satterfield and got him done there as well. Of course, this is Adam's last appearance was back in season 12 there, where he got one podium on that one. He's made eight appearances altogether through the series. So for Adam Satterfield, and he's come back now and joined this evening in season number 14. But yeah, not very long at all on the clock. And I don't think the battle's finished here with the two Mustangs, but you never say never.
No, I don't think it is either. I don't think it is is over just yet. These guys are 7 seconds ahead of Mark Kudrowski, by the way, who's held third for ages now, and he's still there. Quite a long way ahead of Morgan Smith, who is in fourth place. Joshua Wolf is still 7th, by the way, or is that further up than he was actually before? I think it is, isn't it?
He's 8th. Josh is 7th, yeah.
Yeah, he's back up to 7th, yeah. So he's got, he has got past Ed Eisenring while we weren't looking. So that's a couple of positions regained, and whichever way the battle goes for Parker Dime now, Wolf will hang on to the championship lead. Now, as I say, decent recovery considering he had a spin at turn 1.
Yeah, there was an overtake before this. Eisenring got back through, and then I think that was when Wolf was at no name, and now he's gone and got it done here as well and cleared him on that one.
That was a slowdown, it looked like that to me anyway, for Ed Eisenring. So that's how he lost that place. There he is, back in 8th place again. One of the closer battles actually in GTD Am, but they're all beginning to just peter out now. They all are actually all through the field, apart from that lead in GTD Am. What an extraordinary finish this could be between these two. Just over 8 minutes to go. Worth looking at where the leader is at the moment. Pat Pelchat is making his way around the halfway point of the lap, really. So 4 laps to go when he gets to the line. Might well be 4 laps to go for those GTD Am leaders as well.
Yeah, he's just on his way round Rivage here, through No Name he's going to go, and then into Pouon, and basically he'll go down through Curve Paul Lafagnier, Campos, Stablo, down through Curve Paul Ferrer, and then through Blanchimont for what will be another lap, but we will keep an eye on that. This is battle still heating up in the GTD AMs, and there's battles in the GTD AMs in general. Chris Sherborne and Paul Lindsay and Eisenring and Josh Wolf are almost back as well. The big gaps over the GTDs and also LMP2s, GTPs and LMP2s. So, there's basically the battles down in the GTDs.
This is a big run for Satterfield. Is he going to tuck to the inside? Dime is recognised that is not what he wants to suffer again. Oh, they get so close on the Kemmel Straight. Nearly banging doors there. Dime is still on the inside, though. He breaks a little bit later. Satterfield with his nose ahead. Should have the place, though. Inside line. Oh, he's gone. He goes for a slide. And Dime couldn't avoid him. And Adam Satterfield goes for a spin. Oh, it's heartbreak for the driver of the number 1 Mustang as he gets himself out of the grass. There goes Kudrowski into second place. Parker Dime's going to win from here, surely, as Adam Satterfield gets loose on the curb and he spins and he loses the chance at a race win here at Spa.
Which contact event? There wasn't any. He was already on his way. already on his way for Satterfield. I know from Satterfield's point of view, he might be sat in the car thinking, he hit me, but you were already going there, son, I'm afraid, on that one. Kudrowski, after being 7 seconds away from this group, is now ahead of Satterfield, sitting in second place at this moment in time. So Satterfield's now got to try and clear Kudrowski. I don't think he's definitely not going to get to Parkerdime within a short period of time we have left.
Yeah, he just clipped him on the way past his Parkerdime, but he wasn't the reason for the spin for Satterfield. He got caught up on the curb on the inside. Dime couldn't really avoid him, to be honest. Do be hoping that he hasn't done too much damage, actually, to the front left of that Mustang. I don't think he will have done, but you always fear with these things, especially in the modern iRacing damage model, that major damage will have been done. But it looks like it's been avoided. It's a shame as well. We've got 5.5 minutes to go now. A shame to see such a great battle for the win in a class come to an end like that.
Yeah, it was just one of them things, wasn't it? I don't think there was any form of, there's nothing that Dime could do. He didn't do it. He didn't go out on the curb, did he? He didn't lose the back end of the Mustang. It wasn't his fault on that one. So, yeah, unfortunately for Satterfield, kind of all on you, Sunshine, all on you. But he's now battling with Kudrowski, another Mustang. Look at the car model for the GTD AMS.
Yeah, it's... who was dropping down there? Oh, off! Satterfield off!
No.
Kudrowski off, I should say. Excuse me. Yeah. Kudrowski with major problems here. He's having technical issues. And he knew what was happening there already. He rejoins. He's got suspension damage here. What? Has he? What's going on here? His steering inputs look very odd.
Hold on.
Let's have a look here. Looks okay now.
There.
He's had a technical hit. I think his wheels... Something's happened to his wheel. Because he is, all of a sudden, really struggling to do anything at the moment.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. That's still looks a bit odd.
Yeah, the little twitches left and right. I don't quite. Oh, he's also having internet issues.
It is a bit odd. Someone has dropped behind Joshua Wolf and Ed Eisenring now as well. I can't work out who it is. Morgan Smith, who's dropped behind them. But
I can't answer why. Hold on. Smith's in pit lane.
He's had a drive-through.
Yes.
He's had a drive-through penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. That clears that one up then. Chris Sherman and Paul Lindsay have also been side-by-side for 4th place. Well, our battle for 2nd has been slightly spoilt. This one has re-emerged, and if they battle too much, Joshua Wolf will be here for some late positions as well.
Yeah, he's going to try and want to gain as much as he can. Josh Wolf at this moment in time is trying to keep an eye on the leader. He's on his way down into Kerpulfrere, down through Blanchimont, so it's going to be 1 and 1 more, literally lay out on your screen as we speak. So it will be 1 and 1 more here before the end. Oh, he nearly didn't make it through, Pat Pelchat, but he is, and great job from him.
Makes it through and begins the penultimate lap of the race as he tries to take his 2nd race victory and become the 1st overall repeat winner in this series, this season anyway. Paul Lindsay still closes in to the back of the McLaren though. That means that they also know how long they've got left in this race. Just 2 more laps for them as well now.
Yeah. I wonder how Lindsay in this Ford is going to get this McLaren. Since this McLaren's come out, it's been sung highly of how good of a car it is. And we know that Mustang's a bit of a boat in it at times. So I don't really know where Lindsay's going to be able to get in there. He's just going to have to hope he can out-drag him down Kemmel or through Blanchimont.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of traffic around, which might help him. The GTP field is lapping the LMP2 field for the first time. And they're both coming through on all the GTs now as well. So it's getting very awkward here. But traffic can produce chances as much as it can take away. Although it's going to take away from Lindsay here. He's at a 3-wide moment. They've slowed up in front of him. And look at the car lengths he's going to lose. The McLaren will have no such problems. Although a tight line into no name won't help. Here goes Lindsay. It's turned all of a sudden. The tables have turned, and he's looking for the move on the outside and towards Pouon. It's not the greatest place, though, to be presented with an opportunity. Oh, he looks right the outside. Oh, it's a spin on the inside curb. Sherburn crashes into the inside wall, and off goes Lindsay. Wolf will go through on both of them, as will Ed Eisenring, as the two have made contact into Pouon. They've dropped down outside the top 5.
He thinks he hit him.
Well, did he?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
He netcoded him.
Well, that's not hitting him, is it?
Well, he
He didn't hit him, did he? But he slowed down. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, maybe. I suppose he was maybe giving up the place.
He was.
Trying to.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, no! That's so close. Oh, dear. Wasilewski trying to get through. And now Donenberg is going to have a real chance here, although he couldn't go either side because there were some GTs in the way. Oh, he's not going to be able to do it in towards Blanchemont this time round as Pelchat has the white flag. We've got one more lap to go here for everybody, including these two, as Lindsay's off again in the background. I think he's got damage.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Let's see if this is weirdly behaving. The rear. Oh, he's certainly got damage now.
The thing is, as well, he put that in the barrier. He didn't just not want to put it there. He put it. What's your reaction after the snap? He literally drives it right into the barrier because he knows he's coming back on track. Right now, if he don't put it in that wall, he's going to end up over there in the middle of the circuit. And he knew he had to do that then as well. Great driving.
It was partially to do that. I think also partially needed to do that to straighten the car up as well. I don't think he wanted to find himself definitely in the wall, but you're right, he definitely didn't want to find himself on the circuit in front of other people as well. That would have been disastrous for him and everyone. So he would rather go in the wall than the circuit, but above all, would have rather not hit anything, to be honest, but wasn't quite able to achieve that, unfortunately, and he drops down the field as a result. Well, that's a real shame. But what a gift to Joshua Wolf and Ed Eisenring in these last couple of moments. Wolf is going to finish 4th in the end as Dornenberg and Wasilewski go side by side into Pouon by the looks of things. Oh, Dornenberg, he has just got through. Here has Dornenberg into Pouon. That's a very impressive move indeed. We'll see if those two have another change left in them before the end, because Pat Pelchat is coming into the final couple of corners now. He's going to be our first repeat winner in the GTP class this season. Right from the very start of the season at Daytona, it looked like he wouldn't have any challenges this season. That much has not been proved true. However, he is the first repeat winner. He wins the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge race here at Spa in season 14, ahead of Paul Darling. What's going to happen further behind between Dornenberg and Wasilewski? I wonder, as the Pocket Time GT Am leading Mustang comes over the line as well. He is going to take a very, very important win indeed and move up to second in the GTD Am standings. It looks like Dornenberg does indeed just hang on ahead of Wasilewski. There they go. Dornenberg with a late pass up into the top 5 to try and consolidate their best team status. And further behind, Ross Boob is going to be the next leader of a class over the line. Pretty much at the same time as the LMP2 leader, actually, in about half a lap's time. Both great drives from start to finish from those two.
Yeah, Ross Booth is there, and Carter Cunningham is literally in the background. Well, there he is. So I think they're going to meet towards the end of the lap. So this could be quite interesting here. But both of them will go over the line together. So a great job from everybody. They've done really well.
Yep, they certainly have. Of course, these two are both composite performance drivers, but they're on different teams. Carter Cunningham is the LMP2 in the team that are currently 4th. Ross Booth is the GTD in the team that are currently in 3rd place in the team's standings. So there is a key difference there. But I think more importantly for Ross Booth, it's going to be a 4th win in a row. He's going to be now the only driver to win every race so far this season in their class. He was holding that record alongside Robert Cast going into this round of the championship, but he's managed to win here again. Cast only 2nd. So Ross Booth is really stamping his authority on this championship right in the first 4 rounds. Into the final couple of corners comes Ross Booth, and he is going to win again here for the 27th time in the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge, ahead of Carter Cunningham, who crowns his 100th appearance with his 6th victory in this series.
Great job for Carter Cunningham. He's not going to forget this in a hurry, is he? Let's be real about it. He just went and did 100 races, completed 100 races, and won his 100th race. So, you know, that deserves a little trophy or a certificate or something. Nathan Davis here, I've got a funny feeling, has run out of fuel. And what's worse, he's got an uphill.
He thought this race was going to be 29 laps, not 30. And... he's paying the price for that now, but he will finish 4th anyway. But nobody's giving him a push, so he might well stay there forever.
No, I reckon Parker Dime or no, Parker Dime's closer, or Sherborne. Give him a. Is he still out on track?
No, he's gone.
No, he's gone now. So there we go. Shame.
So there you go. He will finish 4th either way, but he won't actually get the pleasure of seeing the checkered flag in this race, but he has completed more laps than everybody, 5th or worse, so he will still get the points. Let's have a look at the results as Pat Pelchat takes the victory here at Spa ahead of Paul Darling. The two who were both going to be the first repeat winners of the series. Pelchat has managed it. Nathan Dowd got passed by Darling in that last stint to finish 3rd. Adolfo Perez continues his consistent top 5 finishes with 4th. Dominic Dunneberg sees off Ryan Wasilewski towards the end there. Carter Cunningham wins for the first time in LMP2. Robert Cass doesn't win for the first time in LMP2 this season. Robert Tinsey and Andrew Parker rounded out the top 10 overall. Bo Islam was 5th in LMP2. Ken Richardson, Fozzie Fozzillo and Leif Peterson were just behind, with Ross Booth the winner in GTD ahead of Alex Simonek, Young Park, Nicholas Davis and Ryan Robertson, the top 5 in that class. Parker Dime wins in GTD AM to move up to 2nd in the championship. Adam Satterfield and Bart Kudrowski join him on the podium. Joshua Wolf retains his championship lead, although it's into single figures for the first time since he took it last round. Ed Eisenring finished in 5th place, just ahead of Shane Hunter. Morgan Smith dropped down towards the end there with a late drive-through penalty. Dale Green is 27th overall ahead of Miguel de Souza, who drops from 2nd in the championship today. Chris Sherburn and Constant Quint round out the top 30, with Paul Lindsay and Michael Ross the final drivers to cross the line in range of everybody else. Austin Dilts, Sean Rees, Dominic Zioli, Billy Smith, Brandon Walker, Christopher Pines, Colby Kersey and Sheldon Roseman all had problems throughout the day. Let's have a chat to Pat Pelchat then after that victory. And congratulations, Pat. Welcome into the booth. How was that race for you there? It was a close start. You were competitive in qualifying, of course, very close with yourself and Paul Darling. But in the end, you won by 8 seconds in the end. Is that a bigger margin maybe than you were expecting here?
Yes and no. I think Paul, he really got on his first qualifying run. So we were in chat together, and he pulled out something out of God's work in terms of lap time, and I really had to push on my second attempt to try and match it, which I didn't succeed. I think pace wise tonight race was much better. And I got a moment and I lost like 5-6 seconds. But yeah, I think the gap was pretty much expected here.
You mentioned there your pace was much better, but after all, you've not finished outside the top 5 all season. Have you been a little bit disappointed with your own driving in these first few rounds? And is this more like what you expect from yourself maybe for the rest of the season?
I think in Watkins Glen, I got a bit caught up by the rain under practice, and Max showed up and showed us how it's done. So I got a bit caught up over there. And last week was just a disaster. I didn't practice enough, and I got a disconnect, which rarely happens for me. So I think it's time to turn everything into the right direction, and invest some time into it, and make sure that we can seal that championship.
Absolutely. Well, you still hold that lead now, of course, after this victory. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Absolutely. I will give a shout out to our team, Solpec Precision Racing, and our sponsors, Solpec, Abruzzi, and the Precision Racing League also, which we take part on a weekly basis. So, yeah. And thank you guys also for the broadcast. It's always amazing.
Indeed. I'll see you there on Thursday.
I'd see you, man.
Congratulations on the win tonight, and thanks
you
for chatting to us as well.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Pat Pelchat there. Winner tonight in the Autobahn Sportscar Challenge. Let's chat to Carter Cunningham now as well, who wins in LMP2 for the first time this season. Congratulations, Carter, on the result. I don't know if you know, but tonight, according to our records, is your 100th Autobahn appearance. And you crowned it with a victory as well. How are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, not too shabby for a 100th race. There's just so much relief, honestly. I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, Rob is awesome and I love him to death, but to lose to the same person 3 times in a row was really getting to me. So it was really nice. You know, I mean, all it took tonight was I just didn't put a foot wrong tonight. You know, just really had a good call on the start there, and you know, seeing when the GTP leaders were going, Rob didn't have as much of a good start, and then just took advantage of the chaos that ensued behind me, and just ran away.
You mentioned that it was getting to you that Rob was beating you 3 weeks in a row for the first three rounds of the season. But after all, you are part of the composite performance umbrella, after all, even if you're not scoring points for the same team in the team's championship. How is that relationship between the two of you, given the fact you are both going to be, I presume, fighting for wins at the front of LMP2 all season?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you know, he pushes me, I push him. You know, it's very friendly competition between the two of us. You know, we joke around with each other. You know, screw you. But you know, at the end, we know that we're gonna go out there. We're gonna race each other hard. I mean, it wasn't easy tonight. Let's put it that way. You know, it literally, like tonight, I did not put a single foot wrong. You know, it was keep the car on track. Traffic had to be perfect. You know, and even with that, he was basically behind. You know, he lost maybe a second throughout the entire race, minus the last 2 laps there. So it wasn't going to be easy tonight. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, I think, the remainder of the season here as I try and make my charge back.
Certainly is. Still 10 rounds to go, of course. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, no, just all the guys at Composite Performance. I know we work really hard to prepare for this league. Shout out to Rob for pushing me to actually get this win today. And then, shout out to all of our sponsors for Composite, Grid, SimLab, and then Tam Liveries for making our wonderful paint schemes.
Congratulations, Carter, on reaching the big 100 appearances tonight and the win as well. Thanks for coming to chat to us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks very much. Carter Koenig there, the winner tonight in LMP2. Ross Booth, the winner in GTD for the 4th time this season in 4 rounds. Ross, you're the only driver to have won rounds in any of the classes. Are you surprised more than anyone else, or are you just pleased to be on the top step of the podium again?
I think you get what you put into anything in life. So I've been putting in a lot of work for these races, practicing, prepping, working on setup. So I'm just happy it's been paying off.
It certainly has been paying off so far. Do you expect the rest of the season to be like this with such dominance for yourself?
Honestly, I'm quite shocked I had such a good race at Spa. Spa has been typically a horrible track for me. I have never had luck here, so thankfully it went well. There's some tracks coming up that I'm not very familiar with. Coda being one of them. I just struggle there, but I think everyone struggles at Coda. So we're looking forward to the rest of the season, though.
Yeah, it's a good job you don't have to worry about Coda till February then. In that case, how are you feeling about Red Bull Ring? Just quickly.
Red Bull Ring's pretty good. Pretty narrow track. Qualifying, like anywhere else, will be crucial. It's a hard track to pass, but looking forward to it.
The reason I ask, of course, is because that's where we'll be in 2 weeks' time. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just big shout out to Composite Performance, who do an awesome job prepping for this league every 2 weeks. A lot of hard work goes into putting fast race cars on the track, and a big thanks to SimLabs and Grid for doing what they do for the team.
Congratulations, Ross, on the win tonight, and thanks for coming to chat to us as well.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ross Booth there, the winner in GTD. In GTD it was Parker Dime who won the race, I should say. Welcome in, Parker. Good to have you with us, and congratulations on winning your first race of the season. It must have been annoying to finish run-up twice, and now finally, though, you have your win. But tell us about the battle. It was great to watch between yourself and Adam Satterfield. Shame that he ended up spinning around to sort of spoil it 5 minutes before the end, but it was great fun before then. Just tell us a little bit about the battle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great race. Pretty much fell into my lap at the beginning, then slowly but surely Adam kept building up time against me, and he made a pass on me, and I tried to make a pass on him, and ended up working out. But yeah, that battle after a Rouge is unfortunate for him. I saw him starting to lose it out of the corner of my eye. I got a little bit scared, but yeah, it was unfortunate for him. We would have probably a good battle for the rest of the race. But yeah, it was nice to come out on top after running up the last two, like you said.
Yeah, the GTD class is unique in this series so far this season because it's the only class, I think, where everyone has had at least one stumble so far in the first 4 rounds. Yourself, of course, at Watkins Glen, that you'll I imagine taking as a drop week later on. But setting all of it aside, you'll only be about 9 points behind Joshua Wolf. Near as makes no difference with so many rounds to go. How much of an aim is the title, and how achievable do you think it is in GTD this season?
Well, like you said, I mean, anything can happen in these races. Joshua is obviously the main competitor, and unfortunate for him, he got wrecked in the beginning lap. But I mean, it could be realistic. I might have to miss a couple more races here and there due to work reasons, but I mean, we'll see how it goes moving on.
Well, we'll hope that you can be at as many as possible. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast. It's amazing. And shout out to my wife, and shout out to the team, WBM, Austin Morgan, for, giving me paints, training with me, and, racing with me throughout the week.
Parker, congratulations on the win tonight, and thanks for chatting to us as well.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks very much. Parker Dime there, the winner for the first time this season in GTD AM. And as a bonus, Mark Kudrowski has popped himself in the interview waiting for him. We don't normally interview podium drivers other than the winners, but we thought, oh, he's here, so why not? We'll bring him in. Welcome in, Mark. Good to have you with us, and congratulations on finishing third. I've got to say though, towards the end there was quite a weird moment as you got ahead of Adam Satterfield briefly, and you suddenly speared off the road wildly, and then recovered again. What was going on there?
So I was going down after the first turn towards a Rouge, and all of a sudden my Oculus blanked out. I couldn't see anything. Oh my god, I'm done! And then, I waited like 2 or 3 seconds, and I can see! And so, I went out down the hill. It's like, sorry, it's so funny. And then I ended up, at the pit exit. It's like, just gather myself up and okay, didn't lose any places, so I kept driving. But it was hilarious.
It's a minor miracle you didn't crash, to be honest.
Oh my god, yeah, it's thank God. Oh, thank the Lord.
Yeah, well, it could have happened in a worse place, I suppose, but not many worse places before I reached. Anyway, tell us a little bit about the actual race, other than the technical side of problems, because you did make up some places throughout the day, of falling back, coming back up again, falling back, coming back up again, staying around third, and eventually finishing there. How was the race?
Yeah, the big moments where Adam Satterfield qualified behind me. I think quite a ways, but ended up making up ground. He, was really fast, too fast for me. But I second or third lap, the guy who finished or who qualified ahead of me, Ed Eisenring. I caught up to him, and on the last chicane, I luckily got by him at the first chicane and the second chicane. I gave him room, just barely, so it was enough room, fair racing room, and he bumped me and then wobbled, but didn't spin out, and then rejoined the race and a couple places back. So that was unfortunate, and so after that point, it was more or less smooth sailing, other than the Oculus brain fart.
Absolutely. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Ross Booth for winning. Again, he's really very fast, and he's a good friend. So congrats to him.
And congrats to you as well for finishing third. Thanks for coming to chat to us. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see ya.
Thanks very much, Mark Kudrowski there, the winner. Excuse me, I used to say the winner. The third place driver, I should say, in GTD. Well, that's quite a moment to have, to be honest, James. Not being able to see where you're going before this corner right here through Eau Rouge and Radion. It couldn't happen in very many worse places. But thankfully he was on slightly the straight part. He could turn off the road and somehow didn't crash. But at that side, we didn't have too many technical problems. A few more crashes today, unfortunately, especially early on compared to Suzuka. But the same good racing and some really good finishes as well.
Yeah, I think Spa's done what Spa needed to do. It's delivered a lot of great racing. It's delivered some great action. As you say, we've had some weird moments. We've had some bizarre incidents. But I think overall it's been good and everybody can go away happy.
Absolutely. So can we as well after a good evening of racing as well. We'll be back again in 2 weeks' time for the Red Bull Ring. That's round 5 of the Autobahn Challenge for season 14. Live, of course, from 2:30 in the UK, 9:30 Eastern time, probably just before, so we can get onto the grid and looking at everything that's gone down from this week going forward into the final 10 rounds of the season. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to the JP YouTube channel to catch all the other racing that goes on throughout the week. For now, though, for myself, Ewan Leary and Jez Parfitt, it's been good to have you along for the ride this evening. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time at the Red Bull Ring. For now, it's goodbye for now.